What's up, everybody? Robbie here with the Nerd Cave. Today, it is an honor to be interviewing Timothy Zahn. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's
So
good to be here.
It is. How have you enjoyed being at Pensacon so far? This is your second year?
Second year, yes. We had a little mix-up with dates, but it was 3 years ago we were here. The first year
Okay.
they had it.
Okay.
So this is our second time around, enjoying it just as much as we did the first time. So hoping they will invite us back.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I mean, every time you come here, I try to get something from you. But, so how did you feel about getting Thrawn? Like, we'll just jump into it real quick.
Sure, why
Thrawn
not?
is now actually on the big screen. Like, it's in Rebels. How did that make you feel when you saw that?
It's still on some level feels a little unreal, that almost like, oh, he's a cool character. Oh, wait, I invented him. It's been very exciting, very gratifying that not only did I create a character that the readers liked, but also that Lucasfilm or Lucasfilm people liked enough to bring to a TV show onto the screen. When you write a book, you try to you hope that the characters will really engage and grab the readers, but you never know going in whether you've done that or not.
Yeah.
You always hope, and with Thrawn and Mara Jade and some of the others, I was able to grab the fans' attention and interest, and this is just culminated now in Thrawn in official canon TV show.
It's still surreal to see that it is canon. What gave you the idea to create Thrawn?
When I was first offered the Thrawn trilogy back in, I guess it was '89 when I was given the books, I knew I wanted to do something that was Star Wars, but was not what Lucas had already done.
Yeah.
Don't want to repeat, so no Death Stars, no super weapons, no Vader type, no Emperor type. As I was mulling over the type of villain, okay, Vader rules by fear.
Yeah.
Emperor rules by manipulation. More dangerous than that is a villain who rules by loyalty, because the troops will fight for him whether he's in the same room with them or not.
Yeah.
They would trust him. That's a very dangerous enemy who can command loyalty and respect. So started at that point, okay, what kind of leader will that be? Tactical genius, so the men know they're likely to win. Cares about the troops, they know they're not going to be sacrificed in a fit of pique or something. Smart enough to know when the plan is not working, pull back and pick time and place of your own choosing for the next try. A whole bunch of these things. And then finally make him an alien, because there don't seem to be any aliens in the fleet or in the upper echelons of Palpatine's empire. So make him an alien, because if he makes it to Grand Admiral, he must be very, very special. And Thrawn just falls out of that equation.
Yeah, because I remember you touching some that the Emperor doesn't really, hire up in the ranks for aliens.
They've modified that a little bit, I guess. Now it's more of a core worlds versus the hinterlands and the outer rim and such, and the typical city versus country snobbery type of thing. But they've allowed me, but the fleet probably still has a certain anti-non-human bias.
Yeah.
So I played into that with the book.
Okay. So what can you tell us about the new Thrawn book that is coming out?
It is a prequel to Season 3 of Rebels.
Okay.
It starts with his arrival in the Empire and chronicles his rise through the ranks to the point of being Grand Admiral.
Okay.
Pick up a couple of throwaway lines from Rebels. I've been doing some connection. If you see somebody doing something in Rebels, I am trying to set up the foreshadowing or the setup for that in the book.
Okay.
Since the book comes out later, but it's earlier internal
Yeah.
chronology. So I'm trying to do as many linkages, as much meshing with Rebels as I can. It's a little bit difficult because Disney really doesn't like scripts going out to anybody who's not one of them.
Yeah.
And one of Lucasfilm. So it's been a little like pulling teeth, and Henry Gilroy's been very good about giving me what he can when he can do it. But yeah, I've seen a lot of the scripts that are Thrawn heavy,
Okay.
And I like what they're doing with them. I think the fans are going to be very pleased.
I can't wait to read it. So what got you into trying to become an author?
I turned off a bad TV show in September or November of '75 and said I could write better than that. So over the next 2 weeks, I sat down and did a story, which wasn't very good. It was probably terrible. I haven't looked at it in years. But it showed me that writing was fun, and worked on it for a hobby for a couple of years, sold a couple of stories. When my thesis advisor died of a heart attack and the project was never going to work, decided to go full-time in 1980. Okay. For those of you considering a career in writing, I went full-time in 1980. I started making a living in 1984. So be aware. Yeah. It's not instant.
Yeah. That's another thing I wanted to ask. Like, for people who are just trying to break into the industry, what's some advice that you wished you would have had starting out?
The problem is that when I was starting out, the landscape was entirely different from Nine. There were no e-zines, there was no self-publishing online, there were no blogs, there was nothing else.
Yeah.
There were maybe 24 major to very small science fiction magazines. There's a market for short stories. Some of the consolidation of book publishers hadn't happened, so there are a few more markets there. But people ask, how do I get published today? I really don't know. I haven't had to try to get published for decades.
Okay.
So what I did, and I think it can be useful, is to start with short stories.
Okay.
Because magazines, whether they're print or e-mags, are easier to take a chance on a new author with a short story than with an entire novel.
Okay.
But again, that's soft advice anymore, because you can self-publish a novel. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So, it's just basically the same thing I did. Keep at it.
Okay.
I think every author has to do is keep at it, keep working, finish one, send it in, or e-publish it, or whatever you do with it, and go on to the next one.
I think that could possibly help out a lot of people, because I know sometimes it's hard getting into these industries.
Well, there are any number of brilliant writers out there, and no one will ever know about because they quit after their first novel and never went back.
Yeah, you got to be persistent. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
Now, last question, the question I usually try to ask everybody to be, a little bit fun, but favorite superhero? It could be Marvel, DC, whatever you like.
Favorite superhero? Probably, growing up, my favorite was Cyclops.
Okay.
The idea of zapping stuff out of your eyes was just too cool. Up there in that same tier, I would put Iron Man, because cool gadgets.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Batman, if we leave Robin out of it. The sidekick thing doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I very much enjoyed what DC television is doing with the Flash these days.
Yeah, love the Flash.
Yeah. I don't know why they can do wonderful TV shows and crummy movies, but apparently they're doing that.
Hey,
so.
The CW has done, and DC working together has done great things with those shows.
They need to start talking to the movie people.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing so well in the movies.
Maybe help them out a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, well, Mr. Zahn, I'll let you get back to it. I sure do appreciate you coming on. And, guys, be sure to...
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. It's been an honor. But, guys, stay tuned for more interviews coming from Pensacon 2017.